What's going on, kids? Mr. B here. First, want to apologize for being out. I would much rather prefer to be in class with you, and to be honest with you, I'm not too sure when I will be back in class. So make sure you are on your best behavior over the next few days if I do happen to be out. And we're going to do this study guide together. We're going to break that into some little parts, watch some videos in between that might help explain some of the topics we covered, and by the end of this, we will have covered the study guide. I am not going to give the test on Thursday. I would like to at least be there one of the days for the review. And so we'll push the review further. It won't be Thursday or Friday of this week. It might be next week. And do understand, though, if I do have to be out into next week as well, that we will eventually have to have this test to get that final grade in for third quarter. So let's move on. And we're going to look at questions 1, 2, and 3, maybe some more, we'll see, and then we will move on. On a hot summer day, cumulus clouds grow taller and darker. Now, we know that if we describe cumulus clouds, that cumulus clouds are white and puffy and they mean fair weather. When those clouds start to grow tall and darker, it's asking me what type of weather will most likely occur. And I see one answer in here that just doesn't quite make sense. And that would be B. I think I can eliminate B because it doesn't sound like a hurricane's going to form on a hot summer day. Because it doesn't say where that is. It doesn't talk about being out over the ocean or anything like that. So we can't say it's going to be a hurricane. So I've got some other options here. We're going to knock some of those out. I think there's another answer that makes absolutely zero sense. On a hot summer day, I don't think we're about to start experiencing several snowy days. I know North Carolina weather can be funny, but it's definitely not that funny. So now I have two options. Cumulus clouds start to change. They're growing taller and darker in the summertime. Does that usually mean that you're about to have clear skies? Or does that mean that you're about to have a thunderstorm? To me, it sounds like those cumulus clouds are slowly transitioning into those cumulonimbus clouds, which would be thunderstorm clouds. That would be thunderstorm clouds. Looking at number one, I'm not really seeing any reason why anyone should have missed that. If you did, take notice to why you may have missed that. Hopefully you're using our test-taking strategies and eliminating some of the answers that just don't make any sense at all, and giving yourself at least a little bit better of a chance to get some of these correct before you miss something silly, because certainly you shouldn't be answering B or D on that one. Moving on to the next one. What statement refers to Hawaii's climate? So now we kind of have to look back and think about, what does climate mean? So we talked about climate, we talked about weather. We know that weather is what's going on right now, but climate is weather over a long period of time. Weather over a long period of time. Again, I would be annotating like this on my paper if I were taking a test or a quiz. I know that we don't have, we can't really write on the computer, not this way, but we do have all the blank paper we need. So you're welcome to do that. I personally do a memory dump before a test as well, but that's something we've talked about in class. So we're looking for something that's weather over a long period of time. Now, A says a blizzard occurs on one of Hawaii's tallest mountain peaks. It does snow in Hawaii every now and then, but that to me sounds like weather. That is happening right now. That is not happening over a long period of time. So I don't think that A is my answer. B, a high temperature of 37.8 degrees Celsius recorded earlier today. Does today sound like a long period of time? No, today sounds like a very short period of time. That's today. The mountains were shaded by cumulus clouds on Tuesday afternoon. Yes, in school, Tuesday afternoon can be a long period of time, but that's not what we're talking about here. That's not a long period of time. So again, by using the test-taking strategies, we've already got the answer correct, because we've started to get rid of things that just don't make sense. And for us in this instance, we got rid of the first three, so the answer has to be D. Now, always go back and double check your answers. Don't just circle D. Let's read it to make sure. And D says, The coolest months are February and March. Now, is that recording weather over a long period of time? Yes, that's saying that each year, February and March are the coolest months. And you only can get that weather data by measuring it over a long period of time. So I like D as my answer here. So as we begin to look at number 3, we notice that it's talking about a cumulus cloud. And the thing is we actually just talked about cumulus clouds in question 1. And we said that cumulus clouds are big, white, and puffy clouds that bring fair weather. And many, many times in the test, answers will be associated with each other. And sometimes you may even get an answer from another question. And so what type of weather is associated with cumulus clouds? We had already talked about that in question 1. It's not stormy, that's cumulonimbus. It's not foggy because that's low stratus clouds. Humid is not necessarily a type of weather. It is a weather reading. You might say it's a humid day, but that's not something that we're going to associate with clouds. But we do know that cumulus clouds are associated with fair weather. So as we've gone through the first 3 questions, I think that we're starting to see how to use our study guide and how to use our test-taking strategies to make sure that we do our best when we do get to the test. And I will see you again on the next few questions.